Certainly there has to be some more interest rate increases. But as I say regularly, it doesn't matter what the truth is, it's what people believe. I saw on the news just recently, a single woman said she just locked a home loan in at 4% for 5 years. She was very happy. She said it's much better than 8 or 10%. Well, mathematically, 4% is much better than 8 or 10%, but where the hell did you get 8 or 10% from? People just get scared. People predict markets will go higher than they do. They predict they'll go lower than what they ever do. I see a few more interest rate rises. I really don't see a lot. I read regularly. I see very intelligent, well-respected, call them forecasters, commentators. One of the most senior people in Macquarie Bank said that they see that there'll be interest rate cuts by the end of the year. And I've read articles from the USA saying the same thing, that by Christmas time, the Federal Reserve will be cutting interest rates and stimulating the economy because they're putting the brakes on so slow. Last week it came out that inflation in the US was at 8.1 for the year. While that is mathematically correct, the inflation for April was 0.3. So if you multiply 0.3 by 12, you get 3.6%, which is substantially different from 8.1. So a lot of commentators are saying that inflation has peaked. One of the big influences on inflation is oil prices. Oil went from $80 or $90 up to $140. It then came back to $100. It's now at $113. So if it stays under the $140, then that will have a negative effect on inflation in the next quarter. One of the big problem for inflation at the moment, it is not increased demand, it's lack of supply. And with the ports closed in most of China, particularly Shanghai, you can't get product out, so it pushes the price up here. And in America, we have issues with food, Ukraine and Russia not exporting the volume of wheat, and that can only get worse because their most recent crop has already been harvested. What it's going to affect is next year's crop. When you look at Africa, majority of grain coming into Africa, that's wheat and corn, is from Ukraine and Russia. So there's going to be enormous increases in food prices, but that's not because of increased demand, it's lack of supply. When supply picks up, things will settle down very quickly. When is that going to happen? I don't know, but inflation can't keep going because we're not actually seeing big growth in demand. It's lack of supply that's causing the problem.